Recently, I listened to an audiobook that claims to have the secret to building your own dream life. It's called Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. Now, the book draws from Japanese traditions. Ikigai directly translates to a reason to live found in the small daily routines of life. And I realized we don't talk about that much here. In America and the rest of the modern world, we carry constant stress, chase milestones, and live a life that honestly bores us. We never stop to ask ourselves a truly important question. How do we build our life so that every piece makes us feel whole? This book helped me explore that question, and today I want to share the biggest lessons I learned with you in this video. Not just theory, but actual tools you can use to build your dream life. Lesson number 1, choosing the right occupation. Listen, choosing your dream career can be extremely overwhelming. The Japanese understood this. If you're gonna work for the majority of your life, you better choose carefully. But in modern society, that choice is often made for us. Parents push kids to be doctors, lawyers, engineers. We never really get to choose what we actually want to do. And that guidance sticks. It shapes what we believe we're allowed to actually pursue. And you can see the impact on our society today. 38% of Americans say they're only semi-satisfied with their current career. Over 51% say they're not satisfied with their life. Ikigai flips that entire mindset. Instead of just chasing what sounds impressive, it asks a different question. What actually aligns with you? And it gives you one sentence that can help you find that answer. Do something you're good at, that you love, that the world needs, that you can get paid for. That's it. If your career checks those 4 boxes, you're done. But if you haven't found that career and you want to figure it out, we're going to use the Western Ikigai diagram to show you how to do that. Each part of this Venn diagram asks a different question. Number 1, what's one thing you love? It should energize you and make time disappear. 2, what are you good at? Your natural strengths, not just things you've studied. 3, what does the world need? What's something that can impact the world that you care enough to do? Number 4, what are you being paid? You want to make sure the value you're bringing is being equally compensated. And at the center of the overlap, you're going to find your Ikigai, your entire reason for being. Now, every single person's is going to look different. That's the entire point. It's not just about passion. It's not just about money. It's about how everything works together to align to help you find your dream occupation. But Ikigai isn't just a concept. It's an entire lifestyle. And there's a place in Japan where people live this out every single day. In the northernmost region of Okinawa, there's a tiny coastal village known as Ogami. On paper, it doesn't really look like that much. It's just next to the water and it's a very small town. But statistically, they have the highest percentage of centurions, which are people who are over 100 years old. It's known as the village of longevity, and all the locals credit their long lives to Ikigai. We'll talk more about how Ogami's community helps shape that long life. But first, let's look at something a little bit more personal, their everyday life. Because longevity isn't just based on luck, it's based on quiet intentionality. People in the small town continue working past 70, 80, and 90, not because they need to, but because the purpose keeps them moving. They grow their own food, they cook their own meals, and they only eat to 80% full. This is so they don't overindulge. They believe if your stomach's too full, your mind's gonna be weak. They walk, they talk, they smile. Not to be productive, but because movement is medicine and connection is the answer. Meanwhile, most of us wake up from alarms we hate, instantly grab our phones, rush off to responsibilities we don't care about, pick up food on the way home, and then end up tired with no energy to do anything else by the time we're home. That's not a failure of discipline. That's a failure of design. And I know you can't just pack your life up and move to Ogami. So how can you actually make these changes in your daily life? You have to learn the lesson of designing your life around meaning, not maintenance. You have to ask the hard questions about your life. Do you wake up feeling energized? Do you care about the work you do? Do you have days that build your life forward, or are you just getting through each one? You might not live in a village by the sea, but you can bring that spirit into your own life by cooking your own food, by making sure to walk, by talking and connecting with other people. Ikigai doesn't demand you change everything overnight, but it does demand intentionality. So be mindful with what you're choosing to spend your time on. And if your routines continuously feel empty, you don't need to hustle harder, you need to build smarter. But as I kept reading, I realized the most overlooked part of this whole system isn't the personal aspect, but the social. Before I go into that, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm almost at 1,000 subs, which is my goal for the entire year. So thanks for watching so far. Now, the people of Ogami don't live long because of what they do. They live long because of who they do it with. Everyone on the island belongs to a moai. This is a social group formed from childhood. They meet weekly and they support each other emotionally, financially, and practically. If someone's roof breaks, the moai is gonna be there to fix it. If someone's sick, the moai is gonna cook dinner. If someone's struggling financially, they're gonna step in. These aren't just any friendships. They are literal infrastructure built into the culture like electricity and roads. And studies show these connections are just as vital. Strong social connections reduces your risk of death as much as quitting smoking. And it's no coincidence that the people in Ogami are so happy. They laugh, they dance, they sing, they do everything to make their life as meaningful as possible. This doesn't mean their life is easier than ours. They just aren't going at it alone. Now, if we compare that to our modern society online, we hustle in silence, we post on social media, and then we expect praise. And then we wonder why something feels like it's missing. The people praising you online aren't going to have the same impact as strong social connection. Ikigai isn't just personal, it's collective. And if you're serious about building your own dream life, you need people to remind you why it matters. Let's take a step back and focus on you for a second. Remember at the beginning of this video, I gave you the definition. A reason to live found in the small routines of daily life. At first, it sounded poetic, but the more I looked into it, I realized there's a lot of practicality there. There is no large milestone. There is no end goal. The people in Ogami build their life around daily joys, so they enjoy the entire journey, not just the destination. Tending a garden, sipping tea with friends, enjoying a long conversation on the way home. Sure, these things aren't gonna look impressive on your resume, but they're the reason life's actually worth living. Most modern routines involve us putting our heads down and grinding relentlessly, hoping that happiness is gonna meet us at the next big milestone. But Ikigai tells you, you don't have to wait. You can build it every day, one moment at a time. And the science backs this up. Studies show that micro joys, only lasting 2 seconds long, reduce stress and extend life expectancy. It's not the big vacation that's gonna save you and make you happier. It's the tiny moments that you can remind yourself you're present in this life. You don't need to change your entire life to feel happier or to feel more fulfilled. You just need to protect what makes you smile, and that'll be enough. So here's the question. What's your reason to live? Not someday, right now. What tiny joys are you finding in your routines that's making all this worth it? That's the heart of the Ikigai. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need to move to Japan. You just need to become intentional with how you're spending your life. Find work that aligns, build a life you don't need vacation from, and surround yourself with people who show you why it all matters. If this helped you see your life even a little bit differently, stick around. I got a lot more coming, and I'd love to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.